Righty, and just here doing a bit more. I just shifted the TV over here because I'm sort of finished working over that area. I'm about to set up these running boards and whatever. And I've had this playing in the background, Uncle Tony. Um, so Kiwi from Kiwi's Classics and Customs, I think it is, or whatever it is, had this. I think it's a D100 or whatever it is, the Dodge truck. I'm not sure, it's a 60s or 70s model, and it's got a 318 in it that they are made of, between Tony and Kiwis, couldn't get it running. It's got almost no compression. So I've watched most of this video. I just flipped back through it, but basically he ends up burning the starter out. But one thing, right from the word go, his mate had been working on it, obviously trying to get it running, and couldn't get it running. But so you can hear, as soon as you started to turn it over right at the start of the video, it's like got compression on about one cylinder. You can hear it trying to pop off, and he's just drowning that freaking carburetor and fuel and all sorts of things. Like he went through and make sure that the timing was decent and the plugs are around the right way, and he double checked the gap on the points, and a few other things. But one thing he never does in the whole video, which I've seen plenty of other people do, including my father, over the years, is something you're trying to get going that hasn't been run for a long time, and it seems to turn over free, but it's got no compression. Let's get some oil down the plug holes, right? So you get some oil down into the cylinders, give it a good douse in there without drowning it, obviously, to get some compression back. It's not going to last long. You'll get 3 or 4 spin overs before it'll sort of blow the worst of all out. But if you hook it up, say 2 batteries, so it's got heaps of juice, even maybe 24 volt, not I recommend it, but just to get it running, have another battery sitting there, have it set up 24 volt, frickin' squirt some fuel down the yet, as frickin' Derek and Vice would say. I've even seen Derek do similar sort of things, get some oil down the plugs, so it gets some compression, get it to fire off, and once it's running, keep the fucking thing running for a few minutes, even if it's got no cooling system like this. Keep it going for a couple of minutes, frickin' get it so it's even like, I wouldn't say like frickin' like red hot, but just get it nice and hot, so like, any oils and grease and shit are like it's really starting to burn off, and then shut it down, because that'll free the plugs up, and then just let it cool off for a bit, and then fire it up again and do the same thing again. And if any of the rings are stuck, they'll come free. Like you could possibly tow start it. I don't know whether it's an auto or a manual, but if it's a manual and you can't get it going, freaking tow start the bastard up and down the street, or if you've got a big yard somewhere or a parking lot nearby, throw it on a trailer, take it to the parking lot, especially if it's a Saturday or Sunday, there's not many people around, especially a Sunday or something like that. Freaking hook onto it, tow the bastard around, jam it in freaking second, first gear or second gear, freaking tow it around for a while, see if you can get it to bark off like that, with a half-point made-up fuel system, and just enough engine speed, it'll bark off eventually, as long as it's not completely fucking dead, like burnt valves or something like that, where it's just got no, it's blowing shit by, but it doesn't seem to be that. It seems to be stuck rings, but they basically burn out the fucking starter, and like his mate, just wound it over for 45 minutes and just drowning fuel down it. So any oil that's in the cylinders, you're washing any compression away. The amount of fuel that he was pouring into it, it's just like he's meant to be this fucking really great freaking race car engine expert. Well, some of the things he does is just like, I quite like him, but I fucking sometimes he just drives me nuts too. Like my father's 77 and been a freaking engine mechanic, like restored cars and all sorts of bullshit. Like he would have never ever done anything like what he was doing. Just keep, like he's just pouring fuel down, like just the heaps, just drowning the fucking thing, like, if it's got no compression, put something down the fucking plug holes into the cylinders to help it give some compression. At least get it that first 2 or 3 hits the bark off, even if it stumbles out and dies and you wind it over again, you can't get it to fire up, put some more fucking oil down there. You know, until the thing will bark off and you can get it to run, even if you're freaking going to sit there and pour fuel down the carburetor and keep freaking just revving it until, you know, although I mean, like, wind it out to fucking $5,000, but, you know, keep flicking it, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 revs until you get the freaking thing to stumble enough and break rings free until you get enough heat into it that it'll sit there and at least idle or run at a high idle, if you know what I mean, like, and even if it was 1,400 revs or something like that, even if it's stumbling on a few cylinders, until you get some freaking heat in it. They'll all come around eventually, but yeah, it's just crazy. Just, I don't know. Sometimes you watch some of these guys that are meant to be these big experts, and it's like they're missing the biggest basic fucking thing you can do. If it's got no fucking compression, it'll never run if it doesn't have compression. So at least pour some, you know, find the thickest fucking oil you got, some good 30 weight or 40 weight or something like that, like old school, you know, even some fucking gear oil or something down the plug holes, nice and thick. It's going to give it some compression, and so you can get the bastard to bark off, and then you'll be right. You know, once you get it to run once, it'll come around.